DDO Players News is brought to you by the Easy Roller Dice Company. Head over to Easy Roller Dice for all of your dice and dice rolling needs. And if you remember a while ago, they were having a Kickstarter for those leather self-standing dice bags. Those are now available on the site, but quantities are limited. You have over 10 different designs to choose from. They are $24.95, but we're going to let you save 15% off of that if you use our coupon code, which is DDO Players, all one word. Enter that at checkout, and you're going to save yourself 15% over at EasyRollerDice.com.
Good day, everyone. This is Pilot Mules, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Everything's going fine over here. How are things over in Barovia?
Not too bad. And, I just realized as we were getting ready to start the show, this is episode 190. Ooh. That means we are 10 away from our 200th episode. Now, be honest with me. Did you ever think we were going to make it to 200?
I must admit I never thought of trying to count how many we may possibly get to.
I'll be honest with you, when I first conceived the show, kind of thought about doing it, didn't figure this podcast would last that long, but that's great. Enjoy doing it every week, so I guess that helps too, But yeah, 10 away from 200, that's awesome. I'm probably going to tell you right now, we're probably not going to do anything to mark the 200th episode. We'll just say, hey, this is episode 200, and then we'll have a regular show. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do something.
We'll see. Then let's head into the DDO Chronicle, issue 297. So they are 107 issues ahead of us.
That's right. And DDO Cast is a gabillion episodes ahead of us.
Yeah. And it looks like we've got a prison on our top cover.
Oh, that's what... Okay, I was trying to figure out what the heck that is, but that's what that is. Okay. Yeah. Now it makes sense. Yeah, because when I first looked at this Chronicle, I'm like, what the heck is that? But yeah, okay. All right, now it all makes sense. I guess I never paid attention as I was trying to get up in it what it actually looked like.
Well, I must admit I don't exactly remember it too much either, since I'm usually trying to go for my life. I'm trying to get... and getting that high up is really tough. But that's what it looks like, because the lower part, the way the middle there sticks out in the light. And it was only later, though, after realizing what it is, that I noticed that, oh, that's an airship to the right.
Yeah, all right. See, you are more astute than I am, because I stared at this for a good 3 minutes going, nope, have no idea where that's from. Don't know what that is. Don't I feel dumb now?
All right. Anyway, so that would be the prison from The Price of Freedom.
Of course it is. See, now that you say that, I'm like, well, duh, yeah, it is. Just look at it. God, how stupid am I?
What's in the news this week?
We, at our community spotlight of our 297th Chronicle, as you say, check over and check out the Damsels of DDO. They're episode 94, so they are almost at 100. So congrats to the Damsels for still going. And also, City Streams is back streaming again. I always enjoy watching City Streams, and he is running his epic Paladin life. So check over and check out City as he streams. Got a lot going on in the fan site news section, as always. Mickey, of course, talking about raids in week number 85. DDOPL is doing a level 20 solo challenge, so no idea what that's about. So check over and see what they're challenging themselves with.
Okay, so the PL doesn't mean it's all in Polish and that we won't understand it or anything like that?
I was just about to say, once again, if you don't speak Polish, you're going to have a really tough time understanding it. But it's very entertaining. I must say, I've watched some of their videos, and it's entertaining nonetheless. No clue what they're saying.
No clue what they're saying.
Not a clue. Streaming with Even is back, and they're talking about the plans for a Shroud Palooza, so check that out. Sip is writing about DDO and plundering Crystal Cove. Brock and Friends is bringing the role play back to DDO. Check out Brock and Friends once again. Love Brock and Friends. That is another great series to watch, especially if you like role play. Check that out. And A Bard's Life with Doug Glendower as well. We do do have our Chronicle comment, and it's like a book this time. This is quite the Chronicle comment for this week.
All right.
So I hope you have a comfy chair, maybe a glass of water, and our brandy, whichever your choice may be. You're wandering around the harbor when you come across a cellar of unique oddities. The seller shows you a smooth, textured, round object. He says it's magical, but does not know the extent of its powers. When you touch the object, you can feel the magical energy radiating off of it. Before you can determine what the object is, the seller snatches it away with a smirk, and he says, 500,000 platinum. Do you buy the object, or do you leave it for the next adventure?
Well, that answer is, of course, quite obvious, because I have nowhere near 500,000 platinum.
Okay, let's pretend you did.
All right.
Money is no object for you, or I should say, platinum is no object for you, blindly.
Yes.
Do you buy it blindly, or do you leave it be?
Let's see. Now, since 90% likely this is a powerful... I'm trying to think what the name of that spell now, because... something like illusion, false glamour, or something like this. In other words, the one that puts off a magical aura, but is actually not otherwise magical.
Oh, gotcha. I see. So you're saying he's trying to scam you, is what you're saying.
Of course.
See, and I said, heck yeah, you buy it, because nothing ever comes bad from buying just random objects from an unknown dude that walks up to you. Nothing ever goes bad with that.
Platinum?
Nothing ever goes bad with that, Pine Leaf. I played enough D&D to know that. Nothing could ever go wrong with that plan.
Is there 500,000 platinum on this planet?
I'm sure there are some players that have that and more, probably. I am not one of said players, but I'm sure they're out there.
All right.
And we have our official screenshot of the week. Zekia Greenleaf, once again, I mispronounce names during this section of the show. You should all know that by now. Summons a bird of prey beneath an angry sky in the 379th DDO screenshot of the week. And that comes to us from Clubber Lang. And that is an amazing screenshot. I don't know how long it took them to get that shot, but it is awesome.
Right. So that's... And the owl just is perfectly outlined by the...
I know. That's what I said. I don't know how... I don't know. That's... You have way better screenshot skills than I.
Your screenshot food.
It's very strong, of course.
Very well. Let's head into the store sales. And is there anything nice, interesting, powerful for sale this week?
Astral Shards. Buy them when they're on sale. Don't play full price. That's my motto. It's the Honor Your Guild sale with 25% off through August the 30th. Astral Shards, Guild Renowned Elixirs, 50% off the Guild Chargers, and 50% off Guild Airship Beacons. We do have our weekly coupon, which is going to get you a Lesser Slayer count boost ×1. Always a great free sample as well. Slay Boost is your code, SLAYBOOST, and that also conveniently runs through August the 30th.
Then let us head into seeing what's coming in from the dungeon, where Dungeons & Dragons Adventures Outline Coloring Book. You have a review for this, and have you already colored in everything, or are you just partway through?
I have not colored any of it yet, actually.
And how are you going to give it a review?
Well, I was just talking about the book itself and the awesome pictures that are in it that you can color. But yeah, this is another one of the adult coloring books that seems to be all of the rage right now. This one's coming directly from WotC. You might remember, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, I can't remember when it was. There was another Dungeons & Dragons coloring book that was out that we also reviewed, but this one is officially from WotC. This one's a little different than the other one, as with the pictures that are in it, you also get a little blurb of story written by Adam Lee, who of course is one of the head writers on D&D. He does a lot of the writing, and I should say the art is illustrated by Todd James. Amazing black and white art. Of course, it's black and white because you're supposed to color it. Duh.
Yes.
But yeah, the little descriptions and the stories by Adam Lee is amazing. As I said in my review, I found myself actually when I first got this, when WotC sent it to me, I was like, page into it. I'm like, okay, this art's pretty cool. And then I started reading those. So I went back to the beginning and I just read the whole book, just all of the little stories that are in it. Like on the dragon page, the sample little blurb is, "You think evil dragons are jerks? Ask any adventurer and they will tell you Dracoliches are way more jerky. And they smell a whole lot worse, too." So that's just kind of a sample of what you're going to get. Each monster has a little, story and little blurb like that on each page. So yeah, great coloring book. It's awesome. This would make a great Christmas gift. It pains me that I'm even saying that, as I just realized the other day we're almost into fall, and that means Christmas is around the corner. So if you got some D&D fans on your Christmas list, check out the Adventure Outlined official D&D coloring book from WotC.
Do you have any good coloring pencils to actually be able to try to fill any of this out?
I do not. I'm going to have to get some either colored pencils or markers. I have a box of crayons, though, but I really don't think I'd use crayons on this, though. It's not that kind of coloring book. This is a more upscale coloring book, if you will.
A more upscale coloring book. All right. So when you have a chance, get some pencils and start to color it and see if you could bring it in. Turn this black and white into a color movie. Let's now then see about D&D Icons of the Realms, Waterdeep, Dungeon of the Red Mage miniatures.
Yeah, let's raise your hand if you're shocked this was announced. Nobody's raising their hands. Yeah, we knew WizKids was going to do some new minis on the recently announced Waterdeep Dungeons of the Mad Mage. And here you go. These miniatures, of course, officially licensed from Wizards of the Coast, and are designed to work hand in hand with the second volume book that's going to be coming out set in Waterdeep in the Dungeons of the Mad Mage. The new set's going to be available in a both standard booster and an 8-count booster brick format. Each standard booster is going to come randomly packed with 3 medium or small figures plus 1 large or huge figure. The booster brick is also going to include 8 standard boosters for a total of 32 figures in that, and is packaged in cases of 4 bricks, so that's going to be 128 figures. MSRP on the standard booster set is going to be $15.98, so that's actually not too bad for minis, really. And the complete set, which has a total of 44 different figures featuring monsters and characters from the book, also included in that is going to be the Elf Cleric of the Grave, the Death Tyrant, the Flump. Everybody needs a Flump mini. Come on now. The Frog Moth, and even the Mad Mage himself. A limited edition Halster's Lab premium set is also planned to be produced. The lab set comes with a variety of scenery pieces meant to recreate the lab in the book, including the infamous relics known as maybe the eye and the hand of Vecna.
He has the eye and hand of Vecna?
Yes, he does.
Oh, good.
So what does that say about him? Also included in that's going to be 3 preserved corpses, 2 bookshelves, 4 large standing candles, a ghost lantern, a summoning circle, 4 tables, and a giant hourglass. MSRP on the Halster's premium set is going to be $49.99. These will be available about the same time the book will be out, which is later this year.
Well, you've of course heard about the eye and hand of Vecna, but have you ever heard of the head of Vecna?
No. Is there actually a head of Vecna?
Well, that was actually something from the Knights of the Dinner Table.
I guess I don't remember that in Knights, actually.
Yeah, they had this whole thing about head, because the entire joke is, of course, all right, what you've got to do in order to use the eye or the hand of Vecna, because you have to get rid of your own in order to use.
Mm-hmm. Which I had a character that actually has the eye of Vecna.
Okay, so you could just imagine so therefore, guess what you have to do in order to use the head of Vecna?
Well, I would assume you'd have to chop your own head off.
Yeah, now you notice that it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do.
Well, probably not. No, it'd be a little difficult.
And being able to put the head on yourself afterwards. So yes, so that was a little bit of a tongue. Well, of course, anything in Knights at the Dinner Table is a bit tongue in cheek. So yeah, so therefore, yeah, the head of Vecna. That was a weird series.
Yeah, I really don't remember that in Knights of the. I'll have to go back and look because
I thought either that or I am completely misremembering things.
That sounds like something Knights would do, though. Actually, but yeah, I had a character that actually ended up with that. At one point, it was let's just say he started out, when I first created the character, he was a paladin. And when I ended that adventure we were playing with him, he wasn't a paladin anymore. I mean, technically he was still a paladin. He just worked for the other side, if you catch my meaning. Yeah, I was an Oathbreaker paladin before there was such a thing.
Aha,
yeah. Basically, we called him, I forgot how Black Paladin, maybe? I forgot. It was like something the DM created for me. That was like way before that was even a thing. And yeah, he ended up with the eye, so he gouged his eye out and put Vecna's eye in. And yeah, it was the whole thing.
Okay. Now, looks like, all right, the hits that I see don't have anything to do with Knights of the Dinner Table. It has to do with an April Fool's article from WotC in 2007, so from 11 years ago.
Maybe that's why I don't remember Knights of the Dinner Table ever doing that. But
okay, so yeah, so therefore it could be that I am misremembering things a little bit. Apparently, though, that may have come from a hoax in somebody's in a D&D group that of course WotC picked up on or something. And of course, picking up a hoax and giving it a spin is something that Knights of the Dinner Table has been known on doing. Is probably why I was thinking of that one too. But that is what we have from the dungeon, and let's see what's on the tabletop, where Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game, and you unboxed it, right?
We did. Of course, we talked about this last week because I played this, and I did unboxing video on it before I played it. And look for a review coming maybe this week. I played it enough, I think, to where I can actually review it. But yeah, this, of course, is all of the characters from the breakfast cereal. So if you're familiar with the characters, you're going to know what they are. And if you want to hear more about the game, listen to last week's show, because I talked about it a little bit then. But yeah, just did an unboxing video, as I'm known to do with most things I get end up on the YouTubes as an unboxing video. You can check out the components of the game. You can see the art of the game, and I talk a little bit about the game. But keep in mind, when I did this video, I hadn't played it yet, so I really didn't know anything about the game because I was basically blind. I just cut the box open and took a look. But you can see just from the unboxing how amazing the art is. The art is really, really well done. But yeah, that is Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game from Big G Creative. Review coming soon to DDO players.
Soon. That's a...
Soon TM.
Oh, actually, it says, it's a pretty famous gamer legend. The owner of a large game store in my town called it the oldest story around, and it's even been printed in Knights of the Dinner Table and Pyramid Magazine.
Oh, well, there you go. See, you were right. Of course, everybody knew you were right.
So whether that was in one of the back articles or in the comics themselves could be two different things, but I thought that's where I heard it from, at least. So therefore, let's head into our week in gaming. What did you do last week?
Well, I played games. Remember last episode I said, I'm going to play games this week, and by golly, I played games. Of course, I played some D&D with you.
All right.
I will let you talk about that, but spoiler alert, we did something we said we were going to do. We'll leave it at that. And then without you, my static group that we haven't played for like a long time finally got back together, and we started playing again. Of course, this is the static group with Rent and Tay over on Wayfinder. Wayfinder. And my level 8 rogue, which is now level 8. He was 7. Now it's 8. We ran White Plume Mountain, and after we got done with that, we had a little time lapse, so we decided to start the Against the Slave Lords. We were just in a classic module type run, I guess. So we did part 1 of the Slave Lords, Slave Pits of the Undercity. We'll do the other 2 next time we play, which would be at some point this week. I'm not sure what day yet. We're still kind of trying to decide on our day. So that was my DDO for the week. Video game wise, played Friday the 13th, the video game. Had one of my friends surprise me with that. I guess it was part of the horror Humble Bundle, and he bought that for some other game, and he didn't really want the Friday the 13th game, so he's like, here you go, play this. So I had a heck of a lot of fun playing that. So much fun. I can't wait to play that some more. And then another friend gifted me One Deck Dungeon over on Steam as a late birthday gift. So I played that, and I must say, that game is freaking hard. Holy shnikes. I got it handed to me over and over and over.
Well, yeah, it can be challenging on occasion.
I mean, I remember the tabletop version's hard, but dang, I didn't remember being this hard. So yeah, hopefully I will actually beat the dragon at some point. I still haven't beaten Dungeon 1, which is supposedly the easiest dungeon there is. It's hard, folks. It's hard.
Oh, well.
And then in D&D 5e, I did some more prep on the game that I talked about last week. Still doing some more tweaking. I'm getting all of the encounters. I'm kind of tweaking the encounters, figuring out which monsters I'm going to use. Worked on several puzzles, actually. One of them I'm pretty proud of, but I can't talk about it until they actually go to it because one of them listens to the show.
Aha, and you don't want him to say, I know the solution to this
exactly.
puzzle. I figured it out all by myself. Yeah. Not because I listened to the episode.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no hints for you. Figure it out. So, yeah. And then D&D night on DDO stream was back. We finished up Annabelle's Curse. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched that episode yet, we actually removed the curse from Annabelle. But in the process, something unintended happened. So now we have to go sort that mess out.
Of course.
That never happens, right?
Never.
So yes. And I was pretty excited. I got to use my wings for the first time. I didn't crash when I actually used my wings. I didn't roll wheel high, but I rolled enough to where I didn't crash land.
Now, my question is this thing with having to roll and using the wings all the time, or just the first few times you use it and trying to learn how to...
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, the DM's a stickler about that. So, yes, every time. Evil Beaker's making me roll every time that I want to use my wings.
Yeah, one would think that one would eventually develop a skill for it. Now, I would say that requiring you to spend some sort of proficiency in order to have that skill would make sense after you've done it a few times, but I would think it would be possible. It
was just kind of funny because after I did it, I forgot which one of them said, it's a good thing the good and lawful paladin and cleric had their backs turned to that. And I'm like, I'm just a wizard. I just have special abilities as a wizard. It's cool. Wizard, remember? Wizard.
Wizard, aha.
With wings and horns and a tail, but I'm a wizard. It's cool. They'll learn one day, just a wizard. And exciting news about DDO night over on DDO stream. It's going to be a regular feature on DDO stream. There's plans in the works to make this a weekly thing. And there's going to be a rotating cast of DMs and a semi-rotating cast of players. So you can check out some D&D on the tabletop every Sunday night over on DDO stream. We're thinking it's probably going to start in October when it's going to start every week. We're probably going to try to finish the Annabelle's Curse storyline before that, but then again, we have to work on scheduling. But yeah, starting in October, D&D night, tabletop pen and paper D&D. Every Sunday night over on DDO stream, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to run from about either 7 to 10 or 7 to 11. It depends on the DM. So that's pretty exciting to see some D&D pen and paper over on DDO stream. People seem to really like it. It's a lot of fun to play in. So we'll see how that goes. So how about you, Pine Leaf? What were you up to?
We'll begin with my druid, where I teamed up with... What character was I teamed up with of yours?
One of my rangers.
Yeah, one of your rangers. Yeah, that's right.
Multitude of rangers that I have.
Yeah, one of your multitude of rangers. We went together, headed into White Plume Mountain, where we went into there, did the full dungeon, managed to survive. So I think there was a little bit of problem with a certain room, a certain watery room where we had a bit of trouble, or at least I think you did. But I managed to have no trouble there this time, even though when I did it before by myself, that's where I was completely destroyed. And I have a feeling that if you go into the water, you're almost certainly going to die. And if you stay out, you have a much better chance of surviving. And I'll have to test that hypothesis at some time, at least by making sure I stay out in the future, and hopefully to see how well I do survive, because when I went in the water, I was ripped to pieces.
I'm trying to think when Rent and Tay and I did that, what we did in that room. I really don't remember, to tell you the truth. And I can't remember if any of us died in that room either, so I'm not sure if we were in the water or out of the water, but...
All right. Then, in the Halfling Paladin with Dracula, this was level 16, where we decided to head into the 12 and resume what we were doing there that had been interrupted for a few months, I think.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
So we finally got back together, and we went through the Lord of Stone.
And I had forgot how fun that quest is. I like that quest, because it's been forever since I've done any of the 12 quests. So yeah, always fun to go back and run some of those quests that I don't run a lot anymore.
Right.
And of course, this is the character that you're trying to get to 20, so we can TR, and we're gonna start with our named characters. So of course you're going to be on a Pine Leaf. I'm going to be on a Dracula, and my Drac is already at level 20. So we're just trying to get your Pine Leaf up, and then once we get to 20, we're going to TR and then start completely over. So I'm not exactly sure how we came up with this plan, but it's just some plan that we hatched up along the lines a long time ago.
I think it was so that we could quest together with our named characters and see how a TR'd character works, or something like that.
Yeah, that might have been. I mean, we hatched this plan, it seems like a long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
And we kind of kept, when new stuff came out, we were a little bit too high a level for it. So we're well, we'll just play on other characters and come back to these, and we're finally getting back to these.
We were finally getting back to them. And last week, when the Hearts of Wood were on sale, I did get my Heart of Wood so that I am all ready. And it was real fun trying to decide, all right, do I want the regular Heart of Wood or the ratio Heart of Wood? Trying to say, okay, which... Eeny, meeny, miny. Eventually, I didn't like the halfling perk, so I got the regular hardwood. And then in Minecraft, I did my recording for the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge for September, where the September challenge is called Let Them Eat Pie, where the requirement is for us in this world to survive and thrive, and we're only allowed to eat either zombie flesh, if you can't find anything else, or pumpkin pie. Those are the only two things we're allowed to eat, no other sources of food. But he does give you coordinates to a pumpkin patch.
Well, that's handy.
And in fact, when I finally got to the pumpkin patch, I saw that it was also near some sugar cane, and it was also that there are chickens running all around the stuff. So I had everything I needed to make pumpkin pie. And when you consider that one of the things I've often done in Minecraft is create farms specifically to manufacture pumpkin pie, because that's one of my favorite foods in the game, that, yeah, telling me I've got a challenge where all I'm allowed to eat is pumpkin pie, is that okay? Where's the challenge?
But I have a question, though.
Yeah?
Shouldn't that have been the November challenge?
Well, the thing that they have in the MHC is that we have a wheel, and with 12 challenges on them, and they spin the wheel, and wherever it lands on is the challenge for that month. So they're normally randomly selected. The August one was not randomly because that was right after 1.13 came out. So they did give us a challenge that was specific to learning about 1.13. But normally the challenges are randomly selected, so they spin the wheel, and then Baker Bell, who does the spinning, opens up the appropriate envelope and announces what everything is. And she doesn't know what the challenges are either, because those are sent to her by Michael Deering, who is the one who creates all these challenges.
Okay.
But yes, it's possible that this one could have been sitting on the wheel since last November or something like that. Because you have a 1 in 12 chance of getting a particular challenge each month, and eventually one would hope that it will come up. Then in my Atomic Island series, I started actually building my periodic table, and I can tell you for sure that this is going to be one long build, because this is going to be a piece of pixel art, 128 by 256. So this thing is going to be massive.
Yeah, I guess so.
And especially since I'm building this on a desert, which is probably actually one of the easier places to build this thing in. And of course, there are all sorts of hills in the desert, so I have to be able to flatten all those hills to get rid of the sand and all the things I've got to do in order to make it clear out. So I think the periodic table itself is going to take me probably a couple of months in order to get that done. I'm going to do other builds in between it, because I think I'll put people to sleep if I just built this for the next 2 or 3 months. Then on tabletop games, I played another round of Palm Island. I got the exact same score that I had on my last playthrough, so therefore I'm just teetering, because there are certain achievements you can do along the way in there, and the easiest achievement to get is to get 30 points. My last 2 games, I got 29 in each of them.
Wow.
So I was like, just missing completing each, just missing it.
It's like, I need one more. Come on.
Just one more point. So I'll need to get a little bit better on that, and then maybe I could complete one, because when you complete an achievement, you unlock feats, and you could use one of those feats in subsequent games.
Okay.
And the other tabletop game I played is Oniram, where I played it with the expansion for the Door to the Oniverse, and I won this. I'm trying to think if this is the first time I actually won Door to the Oniverse, because I always found Door to the Oniverse a particularly tough one, because I could never learn how to use all of those companions that you could draw. And I think I finally figured out how to use them to my benefit, and therefore I was able to scrape by a win for this. And this completed my goal of playing each of the expansions with Oniram at least once through the course of the year. So I've now played with all 7 of those expansions. Oh, that's what those companions that you can meet are called denizens. That's what they call it. Yes, this is the first time I figured out how to play those denizens properly. And that is my week in gaming. We currently have 21 supporters on Patreon, and if you would like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or be guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. And you are still asking for people to email you with new Patreon rewards?
I'm sure they can always do that, but we're getting ready to retool those soon. I just have to, a couple of them are going to involve other people on the network, on this show, Pine Leaf. And then over on Lotro Players, it's going to involve some of them too, because a couple of the suggestions were to do with some of the other hosts for the shows. So I have to run it by them before I just spring some new rewards in. And then all of a sudden people find out some stuff they have to do, and they're like, what? So trust me, it'll be painless, Pine Leaf, I promise.
It'll be painless. We shall find out.
But yeah, if you do have suggestions for other Patreon rewards, sure, Drac at DDO Players. So will come to me, our podcast at DDO Players, either one.
And if you have any other emails you would like to send us, you can send those to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Draculetta_72, and Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles. And you can follow Draculetta on Twitch @Draculetta_72.
Which at some point, promise I'll start streaming again.
Ooh.
I realized the other day I haven't streamed since I moved.
Oh, still trying to get settled?
Well, I guess I'm pretty much settled. I guess I just never think about streaming. I don't know why. Maybe this Wednesday. We'll see.
Maybe this Wednesday. We'll find out. The Players Alliance has 4 shows. Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lucha Players News. Every other Thursday at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have XP Quest. And on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Chromatic Bits. You can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And remember, DDO Players News is brought to you by the Easy Roller Dice Company. You could use the coupon code DDO Players at checkout and save 15% on your dice bags, dice trays, and of course, beard oil. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pilot Mules reminding you to quest responsibly.